What's up, YouTube? This is GaleWolfX'z here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This time, this video is going to be on my opinions on the newest ban list for September 2012. Background, I had trouble picking a background, so I just found the Return of the Duelist sneak peek mat and put in the background for everything. It looks really cool. Unfortunately, I won't have any chance to get it because I won't be able to stay for my sneak peek, but I will do a video opening the packs, and kind of what I'm thinking right now is discussing sneak peeks. So just kind of a little prelude to get that, I guess. But anyways, let's get on to the main purpose of the video. And one thing I do want to mention, because every time I do a PowerPoint video, I always mention where I found the pictures. This picture I just Google searched. I don't remember exactly what website I found it on, but I don't own the picture, and all card pictures have been found on Yugioh Wikia. And the ban list, most people should know where that came from by now, so yeah. Anyways, continuing onward. And if the background shifts a little bit between slides, I do apologize for that, but and if the text is a little hard to read. So I'm just going to try to read it off right here real quick. The list is Banned Future Fusion, Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Oh, excuse me. Limited is Insector Hornet, Insector Dragonfly, Chaos Sorcerer, Ultimate Offering, Spore, Wind-Up Carrier Zenmaity, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Tsukuyomi, Evigenshi Gust Kraken. The semi-limit is Mirror Force, Hieratic Seal of Convocation, the Agent of Mystery Earth, Reasoning, Rescue Rabbit. That one was a little bit hard to read because it's in the lightning. Tour Guide from the Underworld, Emergency Call, A Hero Lives, Pot of Duality, Blackwing Clip, the Moon Shadow, and Debris Dragon. Unlimited is Level Limit Area B, Magic Cylinder, Emergency Teleport, Marshmallow, Swords of Revealing Light, and Necrogardna. Now I'm going to go on cards just by themselves, and I'm going to start with the band. Future Fusion. This had to be done, honestly. It's crazy because you're not going to be using it for fusion summoning most of the time. You're just going to use it with stuff such as Five-Headed Dragon for Chaos Dragons, Chimera Tech Over Dragon back when that OTK was really big, and I think Gem Knights have a big dumper. Pretty much what this card just becomes is a, I guess, archetype or type specific painful choice. Archetype in the case of Gem Knights. I guess heroes have the Vision Hero Trinity, but they don't. Heroes don't use Future Fusion. From what, at least, Hero Beat, Bubble Beat, those are the only two versions I know of, and they don't run Future Fusion. And I'm going to get into another version I just found out about today while I was watching other Banlist opinion videos, but I don't understand why that would run Future Fusion unless it's just for the... Oh, there's the OTK decks. We're getting back into that. So this thing is just a giant setup machine, really. So it's good that it's gone. And it's kind of sad because it did help. It would help fusions if it wasn't so abusable with stuff like Five-Headed Dragon, Chimera Tech. Though those aren't the problem, really. It's just this card can abuse their materials, I guess. Well, Chimera Tech Over Dragon, kind of the problem, but not, especially not right now. But anyways, continuing onward, Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. And in my Magic videos, I usually read off the cards, but I think you can clearly see what these cards do. And since they're on the ban list, more than likely you'll already know what it does because you've already seen it used. But Brionac, with the rise of Exceeds and I guess you could say the fall of Synchros, this hasn't seen too much play. But while I was watching one of the videos, while I was watching somebody else's Banlist opinion video, they said that Atlanteans use Deep Sea Diva, and so they can summon this, which will cause some. And from what I understand, some of their effects trigger when they're discarded. So this will activate their effects. So I don't think Atlanteans are doing anything, but I think this is more of a precaution. And it is not a balanced card by any means. Brionac is not balanced. So it's probably a good thing it's gone. But this could have happened a lot sooner, honestly. But hey, honestly, I think with this list, Konami's fixing a lot of things that they have done in the past and what they should have done in the past. So, gotta say, good job with that. So, but anyways, let's continue on to the limited cards. Inzektor Dragonfly and Inzektor Hornet. I'm just going to discuss Inzektors as a whole with these two cards. Limited. People are saying Inzektors are dead. No hope. And I'll admit, they won't be tier 1, but they still have Ladybug, I think it is. The one that increases the level by 2. You can still use that for somewhat of an Exceed spam kind of thing. Because if you're less likely to open with Dragonfly, yes, but if you do, you can go Dragonfly. Wait. I think you can go Dragonfly, equip it with Ladybug, remove Ladybug, increase its level by 5, go into Centipede, remove Ladybug, add whatever, increase its level by 5, go for Tyrus, Adrius, or once we get it, Volcanosaurus. If we get it, I should say. So they're not completely dead. They're not gonna just be like loop and destroy stuff. They're going to be completely different from what they are now. So, but they're not going to be tier 1, pushing it tier 2. But it's good that Konami's just kind of hitting them hard. But like I said, I don't think they're dead. They're not I'm going to say they're not as meta-worthy, if they are at all. But they're pretty down from where they were before, which is good. Chaos Sorcerer to 1. I've got mixed feelings about this. I think the only deck that's really abuses, if at all, and I don't know the deck too well, so I can't really say for sure, but from what I understand, Chaos Dragons use this. Honestly, what I think they should have done is banned Blackluster Soldier, put this at 2. Because really, Blackluster is in the decks that it's used in, it's a pretty big problem, I think. Because it can either get rid of big problems, like Chaos Sorcerer can, but Chaos Sorcerer is less likely to survive than Blackluster Soldier. Plus, Blackluster Soldier also has the double attacking effect. But to a degree, I do think this will be okay. So I've got mixed feelings on this one, but I think in the end it will be okay. And kind of thinking out loud here, but maybe this is like a preemptive hit on the Magicals. I forget what their TCG name is. Prophecies. Yes, Prophecies. Because I guess you could make Chaos Prophecies, but and since it's a spellcaster, but I don't see that as a huge reason. But anyways, I'm just going to continue on. I've said enough, I think. Ultimate Offering. Really, coming from someone who has played Offering Gadgets quite a bit, not so much since it went to since Ultimate Offering went to 2, but I have been playing it. I did play it quite a bit. The deck is really inconsistent. But I will say this: there is also a. If you guys have looked into the Return of the Duelist card, the new archetype Madolches, I might be pronouncing that wrong. Madolches, I think maybe. One of the two. They have a loop using Ultimate Offering that can get. It's an Exceed. It's not in this pack. It's in Abyss Rising. I think it's Tiramisu. There's a loop involving. I don't know the exact thing, but it's involving Ultimate Offering. So I think that's kind of hitting that. It's kind of hitting. I think that once again, I think they've realized that Ultimate Offering is. They kind of just used it to promote Exceed, and now that Exceeds are big, they're being used, they can kind of push this away. Push us back into the ban list a little more and more. Because now they're starting to get loops, they're starting to be OTKs. It's time to hit it. So, good. I have to say, good job. Just kind of, I'm kind of upset that offering gadgets won't be played at all. You might run one Ultimate Offering in just like Machina gadgets, but no more dedicated offering gadgets. But it's probably for the better in the end. Spore. I have kind of mixed feelings about this card too, because it's good. I think it's good. It's off the list. It was kind of unfairly. Konami unfairly hit this to hit the plant engine because it was a tuner, and that it was still promoting synchros, which they were trying to push away from and push more Exceeds in. So it's good. Good that it's back. But to a degree, I think it's more of a 3 or 0 card. To a degree. Now, reason I say this is because the effect can only be used once. So if you're running, say, 2 and you've already used your effect, yes, you have a level 1 tuner, but you can't use it for anything else. You can. Excuse me. There's something that's kind of contradicting that what I just said. Once again, I think it was a Banlist video I was watching today. I think it was the same one that I've been referencing the entire time. They said that Junk Doppel, I think it was, ran multiple spores so that they could draw into it quicker. I don't quite understand that. I think this should be a card that should hit the graveyard pretty quickly, and if you draw into it, you can use it, but okay, I'm kind of just rambling here. The point is, it's good that it's back. It's good that Konami's off this. Let's promote Exceeds and get rid of Synchro stuff. And I just pointed my fingers for no reason, because you guys can't see it. So let's continue on. Wind-up carrier Zenmaity. Honestly, for hitting the wind-up loop, it was either between this or Hunter. So, with this at 1, from what I understand, when I say what I say, I've never played these decks myself, and for the most part, except for Insectors, which I've played against a lot, I haven't played too much against them. Chaos Dragons I have before. A version of Heroes, Bubble Beat, I have played against before and am currently using, and I'll get a deck profile of that before this ban list is in effect. Hang on one second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. And I have played a little bit against windups. Honestly, the hand loop was stupid. That's the only way to explain it. And it was between either hitting this or hitting Hunter. And I don't remember Hunter's effect off the top of my head. All I know is that it discards cards from your opponent's hand. I think it discards cards. It might return them to the deck. but from what I understand, Hunter is a bad card. It isn't good without the loop. And so it was probably better just to hit Zenmaity. And I do apologize if you do hear my cat in the background. She just decided to walk into the room. But with this and this at 1 and Hunter still at 3, windups can still hit 1 or 2 cards in the hand. I'm not sure exactly how many, which does hinder your opponent a little bit, but the deck becomes a lot more skillful. It becomes a lot more skillful deck, which is good. So this hit was a good decision in the end. I think it's good. It's a good decision. Yes. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna take a drink because my throat's bothering me a bit. Oh meow. You too. Anyways, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Probably one of the key players in Chaos Dragons, and it's good that it's gone. It's pretty much used for, to a degree, I guess, OTKs, but yeah, it is used for OTKs because it's part of the Heretic OTK. From what, if I remember right, and it's just used to spam creatures, really. It's not really a fair card because it's easy to summon 28 beater right away, but then they give it the effect to bring out more big beaters. Of course, it would be worse if it could bring out another copy of itself, but it's still pretty bad. Really, I think this was another good hit against Chaos Dragons, along with Future Fusion. I think they can still be ran, but they may not be nearly as consistent. From what I that's my belief. Before I continue onward, guys, remember that when I'm saying something, this is my belief. It may happen this way. It may not happen. It may have been a good decision. It may not have been a good decision. But that's how I feel it was. Honestly, in general, this ban list is a lot better than the March 2012 list. And I think anyone would agree with that. But let's continue onward. Tsukuyomi. From what... hang on. Let me think. Once again, I'm referring to another ban list. The same ban list video once again. And the guy said that a lot of the cards this used to be abused with is gone. Magician of Faith is gone. Yeah, the guy said Cyberdrive, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Unless you're like reborning it and then Tsukuyomi to flip it down. But this... it's been getting a lot of hype, and I don't think it is really that big a deal. So... and the guy in the video said the exact same thing, but I'm gonna say that maybe towards the beginning of the format, this will, because of the hype, this will see some play, but then it'll die down and it'll just stay limited. I don't know. I don't think it'll be that abusable at 2 or 3 either, but maybe as a precaution, Konami will keep it at 1. But we'll see about that. I'd like to see where this card goes. If it becomes abusable, then only problem with it is that it's a recyclable Book of Moon, but it wastes your normal summon, which is in most cases, I think you don't want to waste your normal summon on something like this just to get another use out of something like, say, yes, we have Morphing Jar. Excuse me. So I'll use that as an example. You're not going to want to waste your normal summon just so you can abuse Morphing Jar again. And this nobody's. I haven't heard anyone say this, but empty jar. Yes, they could probably use this, but it would be too slow. Like I was saying before, it's going to use your normal summon, which you could use to set Morphing Jar, Needleworm? I don't really know exactly what Empty Jar does. I know it runs Morphing Jar, and I believe Needleworm. That's about all I know. But you're not going to use... Like I was saying, perhaps this will see some use at the beginning of the format, but then it will die down and may never be heard of again. But we'll see. Evil Genshi Gust Kraken. This one I think I'm going to read off since it's a fairly new card to the TCG. It is a water level 6 ritual monster. It's an aqua slash ritual slash effect. You can ritual summon this card with any Genshi, yeah, I think that's it, ritual spell card. When this card is ritual summoned, look at the top. Look at up to 2 random cards in your opponent's hand, then shuffle one of them into the deck. 24 attack, 2400 attack, 1000 defense. From what I understand, this is highly abusable in Genshi Heretics, because once again we're getting into hand loops. Hand loops with, I don't even know how it works, honestly, but it's good that they're hitting it right away instead of keeping it around for a format then hitting it. So good job, Konami. I just have to say, for people who believed one of the other rumored, supposedly confirmed, and I'm doing air quotes with my fingers even though you guys can't see it, confirmed Banlist. I just lost my train of thought. For those of you who believed one of the other confirmed ban lists and went and bought, say, a playset of this to build Genshi Heretics, sucks to be you right now. Anyways, let's continue onward with the semi-limited cards. Mirror Force. In general, I think this won't do too terribly much. I mean, as of right now, I'm going to say that I believe that Torrential Tribute just completely outclasses Mirror Force. And that's at 2. And it's been at 2. It was at 2 last ban list. And now this is coming to 2. I don't think it will see play over Torrential Tribute too much. Or even stuff such as Dimensional Prison. Excuse me. I guess Compulsory Evacuation Device, which is a little different, I'll admit. But I think if you're looking for the last couple cards in your deck, you're going to be running something like D-Prison or another Torrential over Mirror Force. So I don't think this is a bad hit. And I think people are overhyping this a little bit. So it won't do, I don't believe it'll do too much. Let's just keep it at that. Hieratic Seal of Convocation. It's a searcher. Searching cards such as a little bit, I was going to say Almadeo's Shadows, but that's a little bit different because I think when it was limited, it was a little more abused with its second effect. Like, when it was at 3, you could summon one, search for another. Next turn, summon one, search for another. Next turn, summon it, destroy 2 back row. Which is a little too slow for this format, but now with heroes getting bigger. Anyway, I just got completely off topic. Anyways, that's a searcher that's limited. Rhoda is limited, and it's a little more generic, but still a searcher. Charge of the Light Brigade is limited, and that's a little different because of the milling effect, which thins your deck a little bit, gets stuff that you want in the graveyard if you're lucky, I guess. But the point is that these searching cards are limited, so there's gonna hit the searchers for Heretics. Try to, I guess, make them a little less consistent, because you're not likely to draw into either A, your big piece, the piece you need to make big plays, or B, get a searcher to search for your stuff for big plays. So I think this was an alright. I really don't know the problem card with Heretics. I think Adam, the rank 6 Exceed, is kind of a problem, I guess. Maybe not as much so with Red Eyes Darkness Metal going to 1. Which, something I completely forgot to mention about Red Eyes Darkness Metal is, in the TCG, Gustav Max, I think it is, the rank 10 Exceed is coming out. They're not going to make as much money as they would have if they would have kept Darkness Metal at 3. So, business-wise, maybe not the best decision, but for the meta, Darkness Metal going to 1 is a good thing. And this going to 2 is, I'm going to say, a push in the right direction. I don't know exactly how Heretics work too much, but I'm going to say by reducing their searchers, you're reducing their consistency a bit, the OTK or whatever consistency a bit, and that's helping give other decks a better chance, I guess. So, good. Next card, Agent of Mystery Earth. The Agent of Mystery Earth. This is another one of those cards that was unfairly hit during the last ban list, because Master Hyperion was a problem, but they got rid of the Searcher and Tuner. I understand the searching part, because to a degree it's a mini Stratos. Like I said, to a degree. But unlike Stratos, it won't be sticking around for long if you're... Like Stratos' first turn, your opponent's gonna want something with 19 or more attack that turn to get over it, or an effect destruction card, but this you can beat over it easily with nearly anything in the format. So, but the main reason they hit this instead of Hyperion is because it's a tuner. That's my opinion, and I think most people would agree with me with that. So by doing this, they are correcting that mistake. Perhaps agents will come back for the format. Then they'll just finally decide to hit Hyperion and kill the deck again. But good job, Konami. You fixed one mistake from another mistake from last ban list. Reasoning. This confuses me a bit, as I'm sure it confuses everyone. Because really, it's used to get big monsters out that instead of wasting your normal summon, you can get it out with this, which is kind of luck based. Like, if your opponent knows what deck you're running, they will most likely guess the level of the monsters that you have the most of. For example, say I'm gonna run this in Heroes. Most of the time, my opponent's most definitely gonna say 4. And in some decks, it's just gonna be a kind of random Foolish Burial, I guess. It could be used that way, but I'm not sure what it's gonna do, what deck it's gonna be running. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna do something, and then it's gonna go back to limited. I'm pretty sure about that. Continuing onward, this derpy little rabbit. Haha! Little bit closer, but still not enough. From what I understand, a lot of rabbit builds can still be good at 2 with rabbit at 2. Yes, you're a little less likely to draw into it, and using, say, Pot of Avarice to get your materials back, you're not going to get an extra Exceed out of it. Well, you'll only be getting 3 to 4 if you're running Leviair. 3 if your Leviair is destroyed before it gets the second effect off. 4 if it does get the second effect off. But This does help a little bit, but I don't think they wanted to hit it too much because I think Konami of America kind of said something to like the Banlist producer. I do understand that the Banlist is mainly based on OCG meta, but Konami of America does have somewhat of a say in it. And because they're still making money off the new the 2012 tins, we still haven't gotten the Verse monsters. Verse or I think they're the Verse. Cause what is Steel Swarm now was Inverse? I think. We still haven't gotten, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, we still haven't gotten the Verse cards. Which, Verse Rabbits is a pretty big deck in the OCG meta right now. So, Konami of America still hasn't made money off that. So, I don't think they're going to do too much with that until they're done making money off that. But it's a step in the right direction. I'll give them that much. Tour Guide from the Underworld. Still not enough. It won't. I don't think it'll be used nearly as much, or excuse me. In the beginning of the meta, I think people are going to try to make it work. I've heard of people running a Night Assailant instead of the second tour guide, and perhaps you could run that, or a tour bus, or I don't even know of what other level 3 fiends you could even run. But I don't think she's quite dead yet. She will still see use outside of fiend-based decks. Once they put her to 1, then she's gonna be useless outside of fiend-based decks such as Dark Worlds, Fabled, and so on and so forth. Once again, step in the right direction, but they need to take a couple more steps. So, emergency call. Oh my! Thank God, this is all they did to pretty much all they did to Heroes. The reason I say that is because in another rumored ban list, it had Stratos banned, and people were saying this was real because it was confirmed at World and blah 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 blah. No, wrong. This is the list, and it's pretty much the only hit is emergency call to 2, which is fine because they still have Rhoda, so it's like they just so it's pretty much they still have 4 searchers, including Stratos, which makes the deck still pretty consistent. I am so glad this is pretty much all they did to Heroes, because that's one of the main decks I'm running right now. So I'm a little bit biased here, I'll admit. They could have done more to Heroes, and they probably should have. Especially since the TCG recently got Elemental Hero Escarado, the Dark Omni hero. But I'm not going to complain about it. And the next card was another hit towards Heroes. A Hero Live is going to 2. This isn't really that common. Apparently there's an OTK with this card. I'm guessing running 3 of them. Because once again in the ban list video I was watching, the guy was saying that this hit the OTK. So I'm going to say either he meant it reduced its consistency, or it broke the OTK. Which is good, though I think that it's made this card a lot less useful. It wasn't that useful to begin with, outside of that OTK, which I don't even know anything about. So if someone wants to explain it in the comments below, please do. But as long as it killed an OTK, it's good in my book. Pot of Duality, I think I'm trying to think how to put this into words. It was kind of like a hit towards all decks because this has become a staple, and Konami really doesn't like staples, I guess. Like, I'm trying to think how to put this into words. I'm kind of duality was just kind of hit toward all decks, meta or non-meta right now, because most decks will run 3. Not all of them. Some people will prefer 2 because of the you cannot special summon. During the turn, you activate this card side effect. But to a degree, this card has created a lot of consistency for a lot of decks, because you get to choose out of 3 cards which one will be more helpful for you that turn. And then if you're running card D, you're getting 3 cards because you're going to duality for 1, then card, tribute, draw 2, and by then you are done with your turn. Since you can't special summon with because of duality, and your normal summon's going to be used on card. So in the end, I think this was an okay decision. I don't know exactly how necessary it was, but we'll see how this one turns out. Blackwing Kalut the Moon Shadow. I love this. Once again, I'm extremely biased here because I do run Blackwings. But this, I think, helps them quite... maybe not enough to be meta, but it does help them quite a bit. I mean, it would be like giving any light deck 2 Honest. Only this is more narrowed down to just Blackwings. So, in the end, I don't think... we'll have to see how this turns out. Really, I think part of it is kind of just promoting the new Blackwing support we're getting eventually. Probably before the next ban list, I'll say that much. But this does help the deck. Maybe not enough to become meta, but it does help them, which is cool in my book. So yeah, cool. Debris Dragon. I think another one of those mixed feelings card, because they've kind of brought the plant engine back a bit, with Spore going back to 1 and then this going to 2. I think when it went to 1, it lost a lot of usefulness, but it wasn't completely useless until the plant engine was killed. Right now, probably one of the plays I can think of off the top of my head is, you know what, that one even work. I was gonna say Lone Fire into Spore. Some of this, but you've already used your normal summon on Spore, so. But I think I don't think the plant engine will be nearly as useful as it was in the past. But, and this card, without the plant engine, I don't think it's really that good at all. But we'll see how it turns out. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but we'll see. Now we're going into the unlimited. We are nearly done. Wow, I'm sorry for the long video, guys. I'll try to keep this quick. Level limit area B. Stall. That's pretty much it, but I don't think you'll see too much use. So, whatever. And anything except Final Countdown, which, but whatever. Magic Cylinder, yet another stall card. And burn card. Hasn't been used, wasn't used when it was at 2, I don't think it'll be used at 3, so I think it's fine. Emergency Teleport. The return of Teledad, anyone? It won't be as big as back back when it was in its prime, because back then I think they had 2 Dark Arm Dragons, 3 Plague Spreader Zombies, which is just insane, 3 Destiny Hero Militias, 3 of this. It was just, in general, insane. But now they have 3 of this, and onward in the list, they get 3 Destiny Draw. So they will make I think they will make a comeback, but they won't be meta. Tier 2 at most, but not meta. Marshmallow, what is with all the stall, Konami? Jeez. Honestly, this won't do very much, I don't think. Really, this is pretty much the same as Spirit Reaper without the side effect of being targeted by a card. And with 1,000 burn, which, but in general, I don't think this will do much. So I think we'll be fine at 3, but we'll see. Swords of Revealing Light, quit it with a stall, Konami. Once again, it wasn't. I think it was at 2 last ban list, but I don't remember. If it was, it didn't do anything then. It won't do anything now. Necrogarda, I think they're helping Light Torrent a bit, and I don't really think it's that big a player in Light Torrent. Pretty much the reason it's run is because you're milling stuff, and then if you mill this, you get the bonus of just protecting something for a turn. So this was unfairly hit when they were hitting not Blackwing, Light Swarms. So it's good. I think it's good to see it back at 3. Destiny Draw, I've kind of already stated my opinion on this. It's going to help the new Teledad that's going to come out eventually. That will come out next format, I guess. But I don't think it'll be enough to make it a meta deck. Now, we would be done, but there's one card I think that maybe should have been on the list. And this is another one of those hits towards heroes. Super Poly. And I should probably be done now because my throat's killing me and I still need to do some stuff for work tomorrow, which you guys don't need to know about. But I want to say this. With all 6 Omni heroes out in both the TCG and the OCG, heroes can get rid of anything they want and make a beater out of it. Especially without the priority ruling, which has been gone for a while now. But, like, you have a hero on your side of the field, your opponent summons Judgment Dragon. Super Poly it, get Shining, they can't blow up the field. No priority. Your opponent summons Xian. Super Poly it, it can't be negated. So, Xian, nope. Nope. Slap to the face. Get Escarado. Dino Rabbits go into Logia. Super Poly it, go into Nova Master. Whenever it kills something, you get a +1. I guess Leviair into Great Tornado. Zenmain's into Nova Master, which is going to be pretty big right now, being re-released in the tins. Absolute Zero is going to hit anything in Atlanteans. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what Gaia would hit, really. But in total, point be told, I think that this should be hit. I'm not upset that it wasn't, because now I get to abuse in my heroes. Haha! But it should have been hit. I think anyone would agree with me when I say it should have been hit. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and please tell me in the comments below what you think about the ban list. Tell me if you disagree with something that I said. Don't just say, lol, you're stupid. But give constructive criticism. Tell me why you think I was wrong for something. Don't just say you were wrong. And as always, thank you for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. It helps me get more notice, which I'm not very well noticed, so... But only if you liked. I'm not forcing you to like it. But if you did like the video, please do hit the like button. And that's really all I have to say, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and this is GaleWolfX'z signing out. Peace.